Hello everyone, I'm the Serious Bear. Welcome back to another episode of Faction Guides, Rome Faction Guides that is. And today we are going to cover the Brutii. Here we go. So, as per usual, I will talk about the Brutii a little. Some historical facts first. The Brutii are a patrician family in South Italy. They are of course the founder of Rome. They drove out the old kings and established the Republic and the Senate in 507 BC. Their capital is at Tarentum. They are famous for their conquest of Pontus in 200 BC and also famous for some different happenings out there. One man, Marcus Junius Brutus and Gaius Cassius Longinus, they stabbed Caesar in the Senate and renewed the civil war between the House of Julia and the House of Brutii. And their last appearance, they died at the Battle of Philippi in 42 BC, defeated by Mark Antony and Gaius Octavian Caesar. Okay, that's enough facts. I'll leave you with the intro. I'll go with very hard, of course. So, the intro to the Brutii.
We Brutii are the only true Romans. We saved Rome. We drove out the kings. We made the Republic. The family deserve respect for that. Respect and obedience. We know what is best for Rome. New lands, living space, territory, slaves. I know what must be done. The Greeks, they look down their perfumed noses at all Romans, and they hate us. I'm going to give them a reason for hate. When I've crushed them, Roman steel, that's the answer. Roman steel in the Brutii fist. And the other great Roman families. The Scipii, trash. They have no respect for proper Roman ways. For us, the Julii prostitute themselves as if the people mattered. Bah. We Brutii must lead Rome.
Okay, so we have quite an aggressive leader for the Brutii. Let's go to the map. Okay, so here's the map. We have one Senate mission to take Apollonia, which is right here in Greece. Okay, so traditionally the Brutii, the game wants us to take Greece and fight the Macedonians, Greek cities, and perhaps the Thracians later on. And our first steps should be heading out to Apollonia. The Senate is right on that part. As you may know, Greece here is the most profitable area you can conquer. It has wonders, a great sea trade, which you may know sea trade is the best trade in all of Rome Remastered. And you have allies. You are allied with the Julii in the north and the Scipii in the south. So my advice to you is head right over to Greece.
Sir!
This way.
Off the boats! Engage the enemy!
And take Apollonia right away
Besieging
at your earliest convenience. You have two cities. You start out with Tarentum, your capital, and Croton in Brutium, which are fairly close to each other, very defensible position. And start by training Hastati. We don't have Hastati yet, or Equites. You can build militia barracks for Hastati. I advise you to build it right away. Hastati are your core units early in the game.
Sir! March!
Okay, about religion. Let's talk a little about the buildings and religion. They have access to all the tech in the game. You can see here Imperial Palace, Epic Stone Walls, Urban Barracks, Circus Maximus, Siege Engineer, Foundry, and so on. Curia is very important as well if you get that late in the game. They have access to the best farms, and water and culture also to the max. Okay, now religion. This is important. You can get Shrine to Juno, which gives public order happiness and population growth, sorry, due to health 0.5% and public order 5%. Shrine to Mercury, which gives happiness and trade income, useful to build in cities that are now under threat from enemies. Shrine to Mars, public order due to happiness, but you can upgrade it, of course. I'll show you the pantheons. So, Pantheon of Juno, if you get that far, public order 25%, population growth 2.5%, public order bonus 25%, trade income plus 20%, and the most important thing, experience bonus to troops plus 2. So I would advise building Temple of Juno with, again, in cities you want to grow fast. Okay, the next, Pantheon of Mercury. Public order 25%, trade income plus 50%, which is great. Population growth 1%, public order 10%, and experience plus 1. I would advise building this in cities that are far away from the front lines, so you can build a profit. This is an economic building, of course. And Pantheon of Mars enables the training of Arcani, which are, I don't use them that much, or at all rather. Okay, it gives public order 25%, experience plus 3, and morale plus 1, very, very important. Trade income plus 20%, population growth 1%, and public order 10%. Build this at when you want to recruit units, your army. It will very much help you. Okay, so we're done with the strategy and economy. As I said about the strategy, you have to take Greece, and you'll be fine for the rest of the game. From Greece you can take Thrace, Dacia, and perhaps move into Asia Minor over here. Let me use a cheat code. Okay, so here's the map. You have Fermon, your greatest objectives at the start, to neutralize the Greeks. Then you will deal with the Macedonians. They are your only threat at this point. They have phalanxes and you will have to defeat them. After you take Fermon, go to Athens, Corinth and Sparta to get that sea trade going. Very, very important. And of course the statue of Zeus at Olympia gives a +4 bonus to population loyalty. Very, very important for your public order. Then head over north to secure all Greece and perhaps take Tilis or Parolissum. Do not head north into Scythia. These settlements are useless, basically. And fighting cavalry archers is a pain, in my experience. The Julii will head north into Gaul and perhaps Germania, and the Scipii will head over to Carthage. So your main objective is to take Greece, as I said. Okay. So let's get over to the units. Okay, welcome to the unit part of the Brutii guide. So these units are very, very similar to the Julii ones. In fact, only one difference. The gladiators you can recruit. So let's go one by one. Peasants, you don't need me to tell you they are weak, they are useless. They are useful for garrisons somewhat in faraway cities that are no longer under threat, or perhaps to move population. Next up is the town watch, similar to the peasants, only 1% better than the peasants. Do not use them, only for garrison purposes. Auxilia, you get this as an upgrade after the Marian reforms. It's similar to the Triarii, only a little bit better. Hastati. This is the first unit you will use in the game. They can throw spears. They are a quite good infantry unit for early game. This will get the job done. The Velate Gladiators. These are different than the Julii Gladiators. They have 2 hit points, excellent morale, very good stamina, fast moving. Use this as shock troops if you really want to. I rarely use them though. Only 40 guys in a unit. Next up is the Principes. They are heavy infantry and an upgrade from the Hastati. They are similar in the way that they throw their spears. And they are better in all around than the Hastati. Next up, early legionary cohort. These are the first units after the reforms. They are better than the Principes, not much. They can form testudo, that's the difference. They have good morale, well armored, so on forth. Legionary cohort, same as early legionaries but better. Praetorian cohorts. These heavy infantry are very good for you. They are the late game best units apart from the urbans. They can hold the line, they can throw their missiles before attacking. Next up, the urban cohorts, the elite units of the game. They are the best infantry you can muster on the field, so use them whenever you can. They will win battles for you. They have great morale, they have excellent armor and good stamina. Now, Arcani, heavy infantry. You can get this from the Temples of Mars. Plus 2 hit points, can hide anywhere, so that's their specialty. Ambushes. I don't use them at all. There are only 32 guys in a unit, so use them as shock troops or as a surprise for your enemies. Early legionary first cohort. You can build this from your capital after the reforms. They have an eagle to inspire nearby troops, and there are 122 guys in a unit, so use this when you can. Legionary first cohort, similar to the early legionaries but better stats overall. Triarii. This is the third unit after the Hastatian Principes in the early game. They are spearmen, and you know spears are better against cavalry. Use them against flanking maneuvers against cavalry. Now the ranged units. The archers, I don't need to tell you, they are weak in melee. Keep them away from the front lines and keep firing at the enemy. Velites, the first skirmish unit in the game. They are very weak. Use them as ranged units, of course. Do not engage in melee. Keep them as a reserve in the case of emergency, but weak units. Light Auxilia, similar to the Velites but after the reforms, are slightly upgraded version of the Velites. And Archer Auxilia. These archers are better than the normal ones. They fire long-range missiles, which are very useful. And I don't need to tell you they are weak in melee. Next up, Incendiary Pigs. Their only use is to frighten elephants. They say they are fast-moving, but I don't use them. They are only good against Carthage, or the Seleucids who employ elephants. Next up is a better unit, War Dogs. Use this to break up the morale of the enemy, of course. Use dogs at the flanks or from behind to instantly break most units. They lower the morale of nearby troops. And now we get to the cavalry part. Equites, our first cavalry in the game. Sort of weak cavalry, but they are fast moving, and use them as light cavalry. Roman cavalry, a slightly better variant of the Equites. Use them as shock troops, but they will not hold the line very long for you. Legionary cavalry. Now these are better. I will advise using them. They have good morale, very well armored, which makes them resistant to arrow fire, and good stamina, which means they will run further and faster. A Roman general, I don't need to tell you, do not lose this guy in battle. He will lower the morale if he dies. And he is useful for keeping around the battle line, gives a morale bonus to nearby troops. Praetorian cavalry, now these are elite within the cavalry part of the Romans. Very good units, use these whenever possible. Roman Armored General, the general variant after the reforms, slightly better. And the Cavalry Auxilia, these are the spear throwing cavalry, use them when you don't like Velites so much. They are more mobile, of course, than Velites. Now the artillery, ballistas. Their missiles can impale several men, long-range missiles. I don't use this artillery most. I think it's quite useless, it's very weak and susceptible to cavalry charges. Scorpions, same as ballistas, missiles can impale several men, do not use them. I rarely use scorpions and ballistas. Repeating ballistas are slightly better. I would advise, if you want to go into siege mode, use repeating ballistas, they will fire continuously. Slightly better than the normal ballistas. Onagers, now these I like. Onagers and heavy onagers. Use these to break up walls. They fire very long range missiles and are very good against walls and fortifications. And if you get lucky with heavy onagers, they can really do damage to a very big group of men. Okay, so that's the unit of the Brutii. The units of the Brutii. Not much different than the Julii. So let's get over to a small battle and explain further tactics for them. I'll see you there.
Macedon's army stands in the field. Do not fear them, for they will die easily, like other men. And draw strength from this fact. The enemy are so loathed that no ally can be found to support them.
Okay, that's the general speech.
Await my orders!
Okay, so welcome to the tactics phase. I picked a random battle. I want to show you how to arrange your troops in the field. So, before starting the battle, of course, you have to take note of the geography of the region. We have a hill here, we will position ourselves over here. Units have greater range on the field when they are positioned on the hill. Put your hastati in the front. Principes in the back, enable fire at will. I am fighting a defensive battle right now. But in my last episode I showed you how to fight with the Julii units, which are similar to these. But now I want to show you how to use your cavalry. Let's group our cavalry to 1 and these guys to 2. Okay, let's start the battle. They will have to attack us, so I am fighting Macedon. You will probably fight this very much in the field also. Your primary target will be Macedon, so that's why I'm fighting these guys.
Units! Units! Double time! Units! Units! Hurry! Hurry!
Okay, so I put my units on the hill. They will have to come and fight me. Let's position our cavalry to strike from the side. That is very important. And you should take the general out first. Like this. Okay, after the general is dealt with, let's use our hastati as bait. We want them to engage our infantry and be locked in a battle. You will see our hastati firing. Now, if you like to have a big cavalry army, do not engage spears from the front. That's a no-brainer, of course. go from the sides, like this, or from the back. Just like this. Let them engage our infantry and strike from the back with our cavalry. That's the main thing of cavalry. You need to rout the enemy completely. Just like this, and the battle is won. So you get the idea what to do with cavalry. Fighting phalanxes is hard, but when you have cavalry it's a lot easier. Strike from the back or from behind. From the sides, sorry. So that's about it. And to sum it up, the Brutii are I think the best faction of the Romans, apart from the Julii and the Scipii. They can get early access to Greece, which is a great way to boost your income. And if you defeat the Macedonians, you will get a strong position to finish the game. So that's just about it. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, press the like button. It will help this channel grow. And I'll see you in my next guide. Have a great day and bye.